Fatima, hey Bobolo, hey Manike, this and that. If you don't like those names, tell them there and then, I don't like you calling me these names. Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time dropping here, I am Ivy Akum. In this video, I'm going to be talking about body shaming. This is something that affects a lot of people, especially young people nowadays. So please do not go anywhere. Keep watching. So before I get into the topic, first and foremost, body shaming is the act of critically making humiliating comments about a person's body shape, size or weight. This is something which is really common in our society. It's become so rampant that people now see it or find it normal to throw sarcastic or negative comments about people's body weights or sizes. But the bad thing is, people make these comments without understanding or knowing how far these comments affect the person involved or affects the individual which these comments are made to. People actually deal with body shaming or react to body shaming in different ways and levels. The truth is, in life, there is no perfect person, and we all have insecurities that we are personally battling with. We all are created differently and unique by the Almighty God. But the issue is, our society have painted a picture of what is termed normal, of how a normal person should look like. If you are an individual who does not fall within that normal range, for example, if you are fatter than usual or if you are thinner than usual, it becomes a problem. People start bashing you here and there, and that results to body shaming. Body shaming in our society usually boils down to fat shaming and skinny shaming. A lot of people feel that body shaming is only undergone by fat women or fat ladies or extra large women. No, body shaming is suffered by both skinny people and fat people. It's so common. A fat person will throw sarcastic comments at a skinny person and feel like, oh, it's normal. But if a skinny person throws a sarcastic comment at a fat person, oh my god, it's like the person has killed someone, or they start saying body shaming here and there. Meanwhile, the skinny person too has been body shamed. So body shaming isn't only faced by fat people. Skinny people too are body shamed. Body shaming is a totally wrong, something which has to really be frowned over. It's very unfair and mean to mock or make fun of people based on their natural traits which they can't really do anything about. We all are God's creations, and everything that comes from God is perfect. God created us all in his own image, and the image of God is perfect. Body shaming manifests itself in two ways. The first way is you, the individual, criticizing your own self because of the societal standards or because people have constantly reminded you that something is wrong with you. The second way in which body shaming manifests itself is by other people constantly criticizing an individual or constantly reminding an individual of his or her imperfections or insecurities. I'll share with you guys my personal experience growing up. Growing up, I've always been a small person. Right from birth, I've always been like that. So while I was growing up, I was always being called all sorts of names: small mommy, mannequin, petit madame, small pepe, all those funny names which I usually attributed to small or skinny people. I was already used to this. Everywhere I went to, people will always remind me of how small I am, right down to my family, my friends, people I meet everywhere. I was always one of the smallest in my class, both in size and in age. So with that alone, I was so much bullied, especially in primary school when I was still a child. I was really bullied because I was always the smallest, both in age and in size. You know, the big girls, the big boys will bully me, they will talk down on me because of my size. And that made me to develop this defense mechanism. I became a very tough person who always stands for her rights. Like, I never let people look down on me because of my size. And the fact that people constantly reminded me of how I look, it became like one of my biggest insecurities, like as a child. So when I started maturing and I got to about 12, 13, 14 years, I became so resilient. I wouldn't let anybody talk down on me because of my size or anything. Instead, I had open eye, what we commonly call in pidgin open eye. That kind of person who dominates others. In my class, I usually dominated every other person. Even though I was the smallest in size, somehow I even turned around to intimidate people who were far bigger than me. My classmates can testify to that. So that became my own defense mechanism. So when I got to 17 years, I took the bull by its horns. I defeated my insecurities. I became so confident of myself. That's how I fought and defeated this insecurity. Nobody could tell me anything. No matter how you think I look, that's your business. For me, I knew I was just perfect the way I am. But the shaming as a whole was no longer getting to me because I had defeated my insecurity. The worst part about being body shamed as a skinny person is that people won't always see that there's a problem about calling you skinny. But if it's a fat person, people will start being all emotional. But when it comes to a skinny person, no, it's normal. Many skinny people out there will testify with me. Sometimes you go out and people will be staring at you like, oh my god, are you hungry? Is it about people mistaking you for a child? Is it about your aunties or uncles coming to visit your home and you're like, are you feeding this child well? Are you sure this child is eating? All those things always seem like funny comments, but trust me, it really affects the individual so badly. I remember this one time when I was in high school, this friend of mine, a very fat girl, she would always be like, oh my god, if you were a little bit fatter, you'd have been so beautiful. Can you imagine? Such negative downgrading comments. But now if I had to tell her, oh god, if you're a little bit skinny, you would have been so wonderful, she's going to cry the whole day. Oh, I've insulted her, this and that. There's this very funny story a friend of mine told me. She too is naturally a small person, small in size. So she told me that the first day her husband to be took her to their house. So they arrived in front of the house and the husband was really pressed, so he went out to ease himself. So as he went out to ease himself, the husband's mother and auntie came out and they were like, and they saw her standing there and they were like, oh my god, so she came with her little sister. Wow, baby, you're welcome. And my friend was like, thanks mom. Then her mother-in-law now asked her, where is your auntie? Where is the woman my son came with? Can you imagine the embarrassment? And my friend was like, mommy, I'm the one. The mother was like, eh? Like, the shock on their faces was really so evident, because according to them, they were expecting to see a very big person. So now when they saw my friend, they thought maybe it's the wife to be his junior sister or junior cousin or something. For some people, they just take it like normal and everything, but for some other people, it really affects them so much. It brings down their self-confidence, it brings down their morale. Like, it makes them feel like they are lacking in something, which is really bad and can affect a person's life in a very negative way. In the Western world, there are a lot of people who actually commit suicide just because of body shaming. It hurts when people constantly remind you of something that you know that you can't change, or you know that you can't do anything about it. Naturally, I'm a very confident person. Like, my confidence level, if it were to be measured, I think it would be 99.9. But when I was a child, my size was always a very big insecurity to me. Sometimes I'll be like, god, when am I going to grow? When am I going to grow fat? Like, it was really tormenting me, especially when people have to remind me about it all the time and there was nothing I could do about it. So like I said before, when I got to 18, I defeated my insecurities, and today that same insecurity has become one of my best attributes. I just love the way I look. I love the fact that I'm aging yet I still look young. Like, it's really an exciting thing. In 2 years time, I'm going to be 30, but sometimes when I look at my age mates and I look at myself, I'll be like, oh my god, most of them have aged, you know, they have grown out of size and everything, and I'm like, oh my god, this body is going nowhere. I now love this my small body, forever young. And secondly, childbirth that usually comes with a lot of weight issues had nothing on me. Like, I snapped out in no time. If I tell you I'm a mother, you won't even believe. I'm still paying. Now, funny enough, some of those people who used to mock at me, like when we were growing up, like, oh my god, you're so skinny, they're now saying, oh my god, I really wish I had this stage shoe that childbirth isn't going to give me extra weight, childbirth isn't going to destroy my shape, and so on and so forth. So you see, my insecurities finally turned into my best attribute. Now, on a more serious note, if you're someone out there who is going through body shaming or who has lost your self-confidence, there are ways you could deal with body shaming. The first way to deal with and defeat body shaming is by identifying yourself with body positive people. When you surround yourself with people who are really body positive, be it fat, skinny, normal, short, tall, trust me, it's going to have an impact on you, and along the line you are going to start being body positive. Surround yourself with such people and avoid people or things that will constantly remind you of your insecurities, or that will constantly make you feel like you are not okay. The next step to deal with body shaming is by just ignoring the people. Whenever people make all those comments, just ignore them. But if it becomes too rampant, then you confront the situation. If you have a friend or a sister or someone who keeps on body shaming you, ah, mommy, you too fat, how you fat so, how you dry so, you don't dry, you don't fat, try cut down small. Confront them there and then. Tell them, stop telling me this. I already know and there's nothing I can do about it. If the person is a reasonable person, the person is going to stop, because the person is going to know that you don't find it funny. So it's either you ignore them or confront them and let them know you are not okay with those sarcastic comments. There are so many people who are constantly made fun of. Hey, Fatima. Hey, Bobolo. Hey, Mannequin, this and that. If you don't like those names, tell them there and then, I don't like you calling me these names, rather than just laughing and saying, okay. And when you go home, you start shedding tears, you start feeling so bad. So it's better to grab the bull by its horns. Thirdly, practice self-appreciation. Appreciate yourself often. Accept the fact that you have been created like that. Rather than looking at your insecurities and imperfections, look at your perfections. Appreciate yourself often and just feel comfortable the way you are. The fourth way to fight body shaming is by keeping yourself and making yourself look good, no matter your shape, no matter your size. You have to study your body type and know exactly what complements your body type and stick to those kinds of attires. Trust me, when you do that, it will bring in this confidence in you that people will even start admiring you and wanting to be like you. For example, if you're a fat person, you have to study the kinds of clothes that complements your body and wear mostly those clothes. Don't wear something that is going to make you look ridiculous or funny. And if you're a skinny person, you have to know exactly what suits and complements your body type and dress in that pattern. Trust me, people are going to admire you. Sometimes some people who are body shamed just get tired and they just abandon themselves. They no longer take care of themselves. Trust me, when you do that, it will instead print out that insecurity much more. What you have to do is embrace yourself the way you are and compliment it, appreciate it, and accept it. So I'll end by saying that if you're someone who has been body shaming people, or if you have been body shaming yourself individually, then you should stop, because it's not a nice thing. It's really, really bad, because it could affect the people so badly that you wouldn't even imagine. People come in various sizes, shapes, heights, and colors. So we just have to accept, embrace, and appreciate ourselves just the way we were created. So I've come to the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all in my next video.